Hello and welcome to Managerial Economics class. Today we have taken up the topic Law of Supply from Module 1 of your coursework. So in the earlier classes we have already studied about law of demand, demand function, demand schedule, the difference between micro and macroeconomics, the scope of managerial economics and all. I hope everyone is clear with it, with those topics. So today we are moving on with our today's topic, law of supply. Law of supply depicts the producer's behavior when the price of a good rises or falls. Let me repeat it again. The law of supply basically depicts the producer's behavior when the price of a good rises or falls. With a rise in price, the tendency is to increase supply because there is now more profit to be earned. On the other hand, when prices fall, producers tend to decrease production due to the reduced economic opportunity for profit. So basically, in a previous class, we have studied what law of demand was. So law of demand was basically from consumers' point of view, and law of supply is from producers' point of view, because the business firms, the uh, organizations and all the companies, industries, these are the ones who are supplying us with the products, their products, right? So law of supply will basically deal with, in this case, will basically deal with this business organizations and all. In case of demand, we had noticed earlier that price and quantity had a negative relationship. That is, when price increased, quantity demanded decreased, and when price decreased, quantity demanded increased. But in case of law of supply, we can see here that both price and the quantity supplied moves in the same direction. When the price is more, the producer tends to supply more, and when prices are less, the producer tends to supply less of the commodity. So here we can see a supply curve. We can see that the supply curve is sloping upward, unlike the demand curve which was sloping downwards. Upward sloping supply curve basically means that when price of the given commodity increases, its quantity supplied also increases. That is, the producer will be interested to supply more of a commodity when price increases. That is, price and quantity supplied has a positive relationship. So we can basically see when the price of the good was P3, suppliers were supplying Q3 quantity. When the price increased to P2, suppliers increased their quantity supplied to Q2. And when prices increased to P1, the producers, they were supplying their products at Q1 level. So the next thing we have up here is supply function. The supply function is nothing but, it is simply a mathematical expression of the relationship between supply, relationship between the quantity supplied and those factors that affects the willingness and ability of a supplier to offer a good for sale. So here we can see that Sx depends on or Sx is the function of price of the commodity, cost of production, and technology of production. Sx here being the dependent variable, and price of commodity, cost of production, technology of production being the independent variables. So as we know, the greater the price of a commodity, the more quantity of the good the producer will supply. The greater the cost of production, uh, the lesser will be the quantity supplied by the producer. And technology of production, the more sophisticated technology production technique or a product, demands, the lesser will be its supply.